I want to go ahead and discuss some best practices when it comes to identity and access management. So that is what we're going to learn in this particular chapter. Now, the first thing is when it comes to the security of your root account. So remember, when you go ahead and create an AWS account, you get a root user which is added onto your account. Now try never to go ahead and use the AWS access keys which are assigned onto the root account. Instead, if you have the root access keys, try to go ahead and delete the access keys. Don't share the AWS account root user password or the access keys with anyone. Create separate IAM users in your AWS account. This is a good practice. Try not to just have a couple of them and then make users go ahead and use just those user accounts in AWS. You can also go ahead and make use of IAM groups for grouping of users. And when it comes to assigning permissions, only assign the permissions that are required. So over here, the principle is that you have to go ahead and assign permissions based on the least privilege. So remember, over here, only grant the permissions that are required. Now next, when it comes to policies, so in AWS, you do have AWS inbuilt policies, but if you want more fine-grained level access, you can go ahead and create your own custom managed policies. Over here, you can go ahead and define your own permissions. Perform a regular review of user access. So yes, one thing is to go ahead and create IAM users, create IAM groups, assign permissions onto users and to the groups. But at regular intervals, you have to go ahead and perform a regular review of user access. Perform a regular review of even your custom managed policies. So yes, one of the good use cases is to go ahead and create custom managed policies for your permissions, but every now and then you have to go ahead and create a review of these custom managed policies. Configure a strong password for your users. Enable multi-factor authentication for users, so this is an extra level of security. And use roles wherever adequate. So for example, if you have applications running on EC2 instances, it's better to go ahead and use IAM roles when granting access. And then go ahead and rotate the credentials regularly when it comes to your users. So we'll just quickly go on to AWS. Just want to go ahead and show you some aspects when it comes to identity and access management. So here we are in AWS. Now if I go on to my security credentials, so over here, firstly in my dashboard, so I have whatever are the aspects when it comes to my root account. So if you have any access keys, make sure to go ahead and deactivate or delete those access keys. So over here, I can see that I do have some keys in place. So we can actually go ahead and delete all of the secret access keys. This is just to ensure that we don't have any access keys when it comes to this main user. Also, you can go ahead and enable multi-factor authentication as well. Now, apart from that, when you go on to your users, so over here, you can see that we have something known as the access key age. So this means that the access keys which have been assigned to these users should actually be rotated. So this adds extra security for the access keys itself. Over here, you can also go ahead and see the last activity. So if there was no activity for so many days, then you should go ahead and reconsider whether this user is actually required. Now, if you go on to any IAM user, again over here, you should go ahead and review what are the permissions that have been assigned onto user via the policy. If you go on to the security credentials, so over here you can go ahead and assign an MFA device for the user this adds an extra layer of security. If you go ahead and scroll down, over here you can go ahead and manage the access keys for your user. So remember, all of these are just aspects that you should actually consider if you want to go ahead and make your account more secure. So this is when it comes to identity and access management.
For more details, check the link in the description. Learn with Whizlabs. Success certified.